Under Dylan's protection, Sasha experiences the dangers and passions of the werewolf world, but her heart still yearns for the simplicity of human life. How can she find her place between two worlds? Thank you for your subscription and likes. What would you do if it were you? You can leave your thoughts in the comment section. Chapter 17. Sasha. I begin to retain consciousness. The rhythm of a beating heart other than my own can be heard in close proximity to me, and I open my eyes to find myself with Dylan in a bed in a room I don't recognize, which would be the 4th or 5th room he has had me sleep in while I've been here, which is absurd. I know this place is big and I've only really seen it from one side, but is it really that big that he could have more than 4 rooms unoccupied by other people? I realize I'm not just in a bed with him, but I am on his bare chest with his arms holding me tightly. In the dim light of the moon which shines through a gap in the curtains, I can see him and a bit of the area around me, and I slip out his arms, and immediately he begins to frantically and unconsciously search for me on the bed, and he appears in distress. Sweat quickly begins to cover his body, and he screams in his sleep, and I am frozen in shock by how terrible this looks. I slowly, trembling, make my way back to him and run my hand along his cheek. His eyes shoot open, and he grabs me and pulls me back into the bed. Mine, he growls possessively as he holds me tightly. I feel a tear touch my skin from his eye as he sniffs my hair and smells me, which appears to calm him slightly, and he soon falls back to sleep, holding me tightly like a child holds a teddy bear. I can't help but wonder what he dreamed about. His eyes stay fixed in my mind. They were filled with so much emotion. He was distressed, afraid, maybe sad. I rest my head against him, knowing that despite how terrible he is, I should give him some comfort. I am tired right now anyway, and he is rather warm. I can go back to hating him and being logical in my decisions, such as not letting him steal my heart, in the morning. I close my eyes and give in to his strong yet warm embrace, and I let him hold me in his arms as I give back into sleep, and I fall asleep in his arms. Chapter 18. Sasha. The sun shines into the room through the drapes as I awake. I stretch in the bed as I sit up, still waking up. I see the imprint of another body in the bed and remember the werewolf that was sleeping in the bed with me, reminding me that I was kidnapped. I sigh silently as I get out the bed, and I make my way to the cupboard and open it to see half the cupboard filled with clothes for me. I'm sorry that there isn't many clothes for you right now in there. Our stay in this room is just temporary. I accidentally broke the wall of our bedroom, so it is being fixed and also renovated. I thought it would be the perfect time to make some improvements to make it perfect for you, my mate, Dylan says from behind me, his hands snaking around my waist and his head resting in the crook of my neck. I can't push him away. It's like last night when I couldn't leave his hold the second time and I wanted to comfort him. Something is going wrong in my head. He is breaking my walls. They are there for a reason. They aren't supposed to be broken. They are there to protect me. He turns me around and looks deeply into my eyes and places his lips on mine. I accidentally slip backwards and fall into the cupboard before he can catch me. He extends his hand to me, a worried look in his eyes. I hold my hand back and glare at him. The romance between us severed, just in time for me to begin to mending one of my fallen walls. I get up, grab a dress and undergarments and walk into the bathroom and lock the door. I change into the blue and white dress after a quick shower, and I brush my hair and plait it back, and I walk out the bathroom to see him sitting on the bed, his eyes lighting up as I enter the room. I should have known it would be a bad choice to wear this dress. I sigh, unhappy with the way his eyes lighted up. I begin walking back to the cupboard, and I take a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. I turn around to see Dylan locking the bathroom door from the outside and walking past me and putting the key on the top shelf of the cupboard, which I can't reach. Give me the key. I want to change, I demand. I love that dress on you. You'll stay in it or you'll get dressed in front of me. I have no problem with either of them, he says, and I clench my fists angrily. You jerk. I scream at him, and he looks down sadly like a puppy just getting reprimanded. Sasha, I didn't mean it that way. I'm just saying you look beautiful, he says. That's how you justify it. I don't see it that way. Sasha, I'm not used to being loving, okay? I'm trying to, but I don't want your love. I just want to go back to my normal life. I don't even have proof that you are a werewolf, and even if you are, this whole mate thing could just be a scam, a trick to make me feel some sort of connection to you. One that doesn't and never will exist. I shout at him, releasing my pent-up anger. My feelings for you are not some joke, Sasha. You are my mate. he shouts in reply, growling. I thought we were making progress, obviously not. If you just stop being so stubborn, you might be able to feel what I feel. You, however, refuse to acknowledge me as your mate. I suggest you stop fighting me and give us a try. If you won't, I don't want to hurt you and punish you, but I will. I will put that tracking serum in you. So either you behave or I need to make you behave, he says. I step back trembling. So do you want the tracking serum? He asks. No. Well then, will you cooperate? I hesitantly reply, why yes. Good, he says. It doesn't mean I am yours. It just means I don't want to have something put in me so you can track my every move. That serum is like a microchip that you use to track a missing pet, and I won't have you treating me like some sort of pet, I say, crossing my arms. You're not a pet. You're my mate, he says. I'd like to know the difference because the way I see it, there is little difference. You bring me back every time I leave like a lost pet, you try to track me and tons of other things, I say. Anyone would search for their mate if they ran away, he says. I don't respond and walk towards the window and lean forward, resting my arms on the windowsill and staring out at the forest which separates me from human society. Chapter 19. Dylan. I feel pain inside of me as I watch my mate stare out the window longingly. The soft breeze gently blowing her golden brown hair. It hurts me to see her wish for a life without me. I know she wants to return to her family. Even if they were cruel to her, they are her family. The mate bond between us is supposed to be beautiful, instead it isn't. She sees me as no more than a man who caused her to be upset and suffer, but I can't let her go. I can't cope without her. It's not safe for her to be near her parents. I hear water touching the windowsill and her sobs, which she tries to contain. I walk towards her and wrap my arms around her. Let go of me, she whispers. Don't you like it? Ask. Being touched by you. No. I don't like the way you keep forcing me to love you. Can't you accept that you don't own me? I am not in love with you and you can't force me to accept you. She says, turning around, anger evident in her clenched fists and glaring eyes. Sasha, we're mates. You just can't feel it. I don't care. I don't even know if you really are a werewolf. Maybe others around you are or aren't, and you're just using the werewolf attacks on me to try and keep me hostage here. She says. Sasha, stop this. You're in denial, and denying this won't change anything, I say. Then stop forcing this relationship on me. Don't you think it's hard for me? My family didn't treat me too well, but I still love them. They suffered as well after my brother died and turned to drinking and being thrust into this different life where I can't even take a step into the forest without being dragged back. Kidnapped or attacked is scary and hard to just adjust to suddenly in werewolves. My mind is struggling to take it all in. She sobs, falling to her knees, tears falling from her eyes. My wolf side feels angry and frustrated as I watch my mate in her knees crying. I can't touch her. She refuses to let me, and I'll only make it worse. I picture my wolf. My midnight black fur and my changed form, and I begin to change form. My clothes disappearing as I do till I am a black wolf standing before the crying girl. I bark like a dog to get her attention and she looks up at me, vulnerable. I move closer to her and she crawls back scared of me. I whine, doing everything I can to appear cute, as to be deemed approachable by my mate. Later today I'll need to go hunting so I can get some of my manliness back because alphas don't do barking, whining and puppy dog eyes to get affection, and I am sure none of them want their mate to treat them like a pet with strokes and stuff. The things I do for her. I lie on my stomach and make my eyes wide and watery, doing a whine and a quivery lip, and I can see her resolve weakening by the second, and soon enough I have her hugging me and crying into my fur. She didn't see my shift, but at the back of her head she knows I am the wolf, but she can't see it in this state. She needs to feel happy and get out her feelings in a way that she feels safe, and this is the way she can do it, and I can be there for her. Wolfie, why is Dylan so dominating and possessive? He won't give me any space. My parents are probably sober and worried sick about me. Why does he want to force me into a relationship when I barely know him? He wants to rush everything and doesn't respect that I want to go slow, that I don't even love him, not at the rate he's going. He can't force love. Why can't he understand that? She asks, sobbing into my fur. I know she doesn't expect an answer, and it seems I was wrong. Her mind has blocked out that I am the wolf. Chapter 20. Dylan. I walk into the games room where some of my high-ranked wolves are so I can play a bit before my mate wakes up, and then I need to repeat the cycle of not letting her run away. Morning, Alpha. 𝐊𝐥𝐼𝐴 smirks. What is it? I ask with a sigh. Nothing. Just this he says, showing me his phone, and I see Sasha sleeping on me in my wolf form and stroking my head. What the why were you in my room? I say angrily. I am interrupted by a scream and I turn and run to my room, and I see Sasha lying on the floor collapsed on her back, sweat rolling of her reddened skin as she breathes heavily, pained. I sniff her and find her scent to be a lot stronger, and she lies shaking, and I touch her and I feel a burning hot sensation coming from her skin. My eyes widen. It's been possibly 5 or more days since I first laid eyes on her, and she probably caught a small bit of me but didn't notice by the lake. She's taken too long to accept me. Did Dylan IF feel like I'm on fire? She cries out in pain. I pick her up in my arms. I know our room is ready for us, luckily, and I carry her out the room and into my bedroom, and I lie her on my bed, and I go back to close the door and lock it, knowing her scent will attract other unmated males to make me more possessive of her and to speed up our relationship. I remember being taught about this. When a mated pair struggle to accept one another from either or both sides, the she-wolf will eventually go into heat to speed up their relationship by making the male possessive and want to claim her more, and she'll be more open to his advances. Sasha doesn't deserve this. I thought heat only applied to she-wolves, but then I also thought wolves could only be mates with wolves. I see her tense in pain, and I run to her side and gently stroke her arm. Dylan, it hurts, she says softly. It'll only last 3 days, okay? I whisper. Is there any way to make it less painful or to make it go away? She asks. Yes, but when this pain is over and you can think rationally, you will regret asking me to help, I sigh. Please, I feel like lava has been poured over my skin, she says, and I can feel the sweat dripping from her skin. Sasha, do you really want me to? I'll be biting your neck and placing a claim there, I say. Is that all? She asks. Sasha, you understand, I'll be claiming you. Werewolf males are possessive, and if their female has their claim, they will be even more protective of her than usual. You didn't want me treating you like a possession. I want you to ask me in the right state of mind, I say. Dylan, please don't speak so long. The heat is making it hard to focus. Please, can you run me a nice cold bath with lots of little ice blocks, she says. I immediately go to the fridge in the kitchen and take the ice blocks out the freezer and begin emptying them into a bag, and I carry them back to the room and I run a cold bath and I empty the ice into it. I go back to her and pick her up in my arms. I gently lower her into the tub in her nightdress, and she sighs in slight relief as she relaxes into the freezing ice-cold water. Dylan, I was thinking, she says. Yes, Sasha, I say. Can we go to Antarctica? The temperatures are way below zero. It'll be nice, don't you think? She says, and as much as I want to think she is just playing around, I can tell she is being serious. She-wolves apparently don't think in the same way as usual during heat. They'll do anything to stop the pain. Right now, for her, going all the way to Antarctica is completely rational, and the coldness would combat the heat, and I'm sure she doesn't plan on going in any more than a t-shirt and shorts or her soaked nightgown. Sasha, there aren't really any flights to Antarctica, I say. We can swim, can't we, unless you want to mark me? Whichever one suits you, she says, smiling playfully and innocently like a devil in body of an innocent and sweet angel. Maybe we can talk about this over some ice cream, I suggest. Okay, she says, her eyes lighting up enthusiastically. I get up and leave the bathroom and my room and lock the door. Ice cream in a bathtub, seriously, I mutter to myself. What is this about ice cream in a bathtub? James asks. My mate wants to swim to Antarctica because the temperatures are below zero and there are no planes to get there. I suggested negotiating it over ice cream. I say, getting a tub of Neapolitan ice cream out the freezer and getting 2 spoons. Hey, you can't take the whole tub, that flavor is my favorite, he whines. I'm hoping this will distract Sasha long enough for her to no longer wish to make us swim all the way to Antarctica. Have some sympathy, I say. Wait, she's on heat. I thought only wolf. I did too, but then I got a human mate. I told her about marking, and now I have been given the choice of marking her, and after that being ignored and forced to sleep on a dog bed for the rest of my life, or swimming to Antarctica and freezing to death with her before her heat even ends. We're negotiating it over ice cream, I say, walking up the stairs. You still need to introduce me properly to your mate. Alphas don't easily resist marking their mates at first sight. You haven't touched the spot on her neck. I'm sure you're very much tempted though, he says. You have no idea, however, like I said, I don't wish to sleep on a dog bed for the rest of my life. I'm lucky enough to be able to sleep next to her, I say, walking up the stairs. Chapter 21. Dylan. I enter the bathroom to hear Sasha exclaim, Ice cream. I laugh as I see the girl looking at the ice cream like a starving wolf setting eyes on a deer. It's all yours, however, I'll feed you so the ice cream doesn't end up in the bathtub and you don't eat it all too fast, I say, sitting on my knees and opening the ice cream. I take a spoon and begin feeding her the ice cream, which she visibly enjoys. So when I finish the tub of ice cream, we'll either swim to Antarctica, well, you'll be swimming and I'll be on your back or in your arms because I can't move much with this heat. Can't even walk. I can just sit up and lie down in the bath, but that uses a lot of energy as is. Otherwise you can mark me, she says. Sasha, marking isn't something to be taken so lightly. You'll regret it when it's over and you'll make me sleep on a dog bed for the rest of my life till for taking advantage of you in this state when you are so desperate for your pain to be relieved. I say. But Dylan, I can't bear this pain. If you must get your phone and I'll record myself giving you permission, she says. I sigh and take out my phone and start a recording. I, Sasha Connors, want you to make this pain stop and just mark me, Dylan, she says, and I stop recording. Sasha, can I maybe get you out the bath and into some dry clothes first? I want you to be comfortable seeing as it is going to be painful, I tell her. She nods and I take her out the bath and give her some dry clothes I had ready for her for when she got out the bath, and she manages to dress herself despite her pain and weakness. Dylan, the ice cream is going to melt, she says. I nod and take it into the room and put it into a mini freezer I have on hand next to my mini fridge, and I go back and carry her to the bed. I get on her and I look down at her. Please just end this pain already, Dylan, she says, pleading with me. I'm sorry if this hurts or I go rough with you. When I begin marking you, I won't stop till my wolf instincts are satisfied, I whisper, leaning down. My hands take her wrists and place them next to her neck, and I softly lick the crook of her neck and I softly nip at it to make her skin soft to try and make the process less painful for my mate, although that won't change the fact that she's going to experience terrible pain. My canines extend and I bite into her flesh, and she screams and she struggles as I hold her wrists, but I've begun the process and I can't stop till I've placed my claim on her properly. Dylan, stop. She screams in pain, kicking and screaming. I taste her blood seeping from the wound, and I eventually remove my canines from her skin and I lick her wound as she pants heavily. I release her wrists. It's all over now, Sasha, I whisper, looking down on her, and she opens her eyes, which had been squeezed closed. I healed it as part of the marking process, but it'll hurt for a while. Do you want to see it? I ask. She nods hesitantly and I pick her up and carry her to the bathroom and sit her on top of the vanity and turn her to face the mirror. She looks at the bite marks, which have black swirls coming from each to form a circle with a half moon taking up half of it. I smile seeing it and I move her hair to make sure she can properly see it. That's my mark on you, my claim. The black represents my wolf as it is black. Marking is important for us wolves as it shows other males that you have a mate, and it gets most males, well, werewolf males at least, to back off, I explain, resting my head in the crook of her neck. You have a month till your next heat. The first heat is to initiate marking if a couple hasn't done the marking soon enough. The second heat comes if you have experienced the first, and that is to initiate mating if not done by then, I explain. I'm mating. But I'm 17, she exclaims. And I know that and will do everything I can to honor that. But if you try force me to swim to Antarctica, well, I might not be able to, I say. You know, this doesn't mean I love you. It means I tolerate you, she says, crossing her arms. Chapter 22. Sasha, this doesn't mean I love you. It means I tolerate you. The words I spoke to him replay in my head as I stare in the bathroom mirror at my mark. My fingers tracing the pattern on my skin. My mind is confused. I'm scared that if I fall for him, then I'll get hurt. That he'll take advantage of me and use my feelings to control me and manipulate me. He said he loves me and he's proven it, but I'm still unsure about trusting him. He saved my life and everything, and I understand if he were to swim to Antarctica, I would die from cold as soon as that heat ended if we didn't drown on the way there. I don't understand why this has to be so confusing and complicated. I always believed relationships were simple, that you either loved someone or didn't. There wasn't any middle ground. The first time I fell in love, I immediately fell hard and I regret it entirely. It was no more than a one-sided childish crush returned with a joke. That resulted in so much loss and pain for me and everyone around me. I caused everyone to suffer. I don't deserve a soul mate. I don't even love him, but he loves me entirely. I can see it in the way he treats me and cares for me and protects me. He got unlucky. He got a human girl who is unable to reciprocate his feelings. How can he love me so quickly? It is so rushed, but then I was the same my first crush. Tears fall from my eyes as I move my hair to reveal the faint scar on my forehead, hidden by my brown hair. I'll never forgive Jonathan for what he did to me, not even if he came to me begging on his knees pleading, because he never loved me. He played me like a jerk. Because of him I lost my brother. I deserved every beating thrown at me. Why does he love me when I am so broken? I whisper, looking at myself in the mirror. Chapter 23. Sasha. Morning, Sasha. Dylan whispers, his lips softly touching the mark on my neck. 𝐿𝐤𝐳. I mutter tiredly, brushing him off and turning around and snuggling tiredly into him. Go back to sleep, I mumble. He laughs and picks me up in his arms. I want to go back to bed. I mumble into his t-shirt. No, sweetie, I want to take you to meet my friends. I look up, glaring at him, instantly properly awake. I told you I tolerated you. I'm not in a romantic relationship with you. We are not dating or anything. I won't pretend to be in love with you when I'm not. You've looked after me, but I couldn't be official unless I knew you properly, I say. So if I managed to get to know you and you felt comfortable. You're making assumptions, I tell him. I'm being hopeful, he replies. You're keeping me against my will. I don't plan on developing Stockholm Syndrome, Dylan. I say, crossing my arms and looking away. It isn't Stockholm Syndrome. Sasha, I've told you we're supposed to be together. It's fate. You might not be able to feel it completely yet, but I do. I am in love with you. Please stop overlooking how I feel and give me a proper chance. I know I messed up bad at the start, but I have been trying to make it up to you. Please stop being so stubborn, Sasha, he says. You can't tell me what to do. I understand everything you have done for me, from saving me to, well, everything else, but you kidnapped me. I'm only being sensible by being stubborn, I say. I thought we were making progress. You allowed me to mark you and everything, but we're back at square one. It's like whenever I get close to you, you just want to push me away. It's like you're trying to defend yourself from me when I'm not the enemy. I want to give you everything. I want to make you the happiest girl alive. I want to make you blush and smile, and you won't let me even kiss you, really. How many times have we kissed? Very few, if ever. The reason you went into heat is because our relationship isn't going fast enough for our bond. We have a month or less to mate until the next wave of heat comes, and I don't want to see you suffering, he says. I'm 17 and you want us to mate, I say. Not right now. Please just let me in. Stop resisting me or else you'll only get hurt in the end, he sighs. Fine, I sigh, giving in, unable to stand his pleading and some weird part of me telling me it would be best to give a chance. He grins and I am tackled to the bed by him as he embraces me. Don't make me take what I said back. I threaten to get him off me. He whines and instantly climbs off me. So what do you want to do? He asks with a slight hint of nervousness. Chapter 24. Sasha. I nervously play with my fingers, looking at the ground as I walk beside Dylan. I can't see a thing from under the blindfold tied over my eyes, which encases my vision in total darkness. I feel dirt slip underneath my feet and I scream as I feel only air beneath me as gravity pushes me down. Sasha. I hear Dylan's voice scream and his hand quickly grabs mine. To Dylan, I whimper. It's okay, baby. I'm just gonna pull you up nice and slowly. I promise I won't let you fall, he says. His words don't help as I feel gravity continue to pull me down and my fear makes my hands sweaty and I begin to slip from Dylan's hold. Dylan, I'm scared. I whimper, unable to see anything. It's okay. Just stay calm. He whispers gently to me as I feel my body being lifted up. Suddenly I hear a growl. Of all times, he mutters under his breath. Dylan, what's going on? I exclaim, confused and terrified. He pulls me up to land and suddenly pushes me on the ground and I hear a huge growl. Dylan, I exclaim. Sasha, stay calm. I'll protect you, he says. I lift my fingers to the knot which secures the blindfold. Dylan, the knot is too tight and I can't remove the blindfold. I whimper, knowing I can't run if I can't see where I'm going. I understand people who are born blind or have been blind for a long time can navigate without sight, but for someone who is very much accustomed to being able to see, being blindfolded makes it nearly impossible to get around, especially in an unfamiliar place. I scream in pain as I feel razor-sharp teeth bite into my leg. Dylan, help. I scream, feeling blood run down my skin. I hear something hit the ground and a growl resonates near me and the animal biting me is force off. I feel my blindfold ripped off and I stare at a beautiful black wolf in front of me and I see 3 snarling wolves in front of me and I crawl back and my hurt leg slips. The wolf goes in front of me growling and snarling at the other wolves in a protective manner. The wolves run at me at once and he fights them all off and I shut my eyes not wanting to see him die. I feel a tongue lick my cheek and I open my eyes and the wolf shifts into Dylan. It's all over now, he whispers to me as he lifts my legs up over his arm and wraps my arms around his neck and holds me. He walks further into the forest and I see a picnic blanket with food set up in a secluded R with a waterfall. He carries me to the water and sets me down on the grass and gently washes my wound while I flinch every time his skin touches the injury. He takes off his shirt and expertly wraps it around my leg as a bandage and I notice his wounds have mostly healed. I know this date has been terrible so far, but how about we enjoy the picnic? He suggests and I nod. He picks me back up and takes me to the blanket and sets me down and I look in the basket to see an assortment of delicious food. As cliché as a picnic date is, I guess cliché still works considering how I can't help but appreciate his effort in setting up the picnic and everything. I look into his dark brown eyes which match his hair and I close my eyes and slowly lean forward and my lips touch his gently and I soon after lift my lips. Thank you for doing this for me and for saving my life. I really appreciate it and I am sorry for always giving you a hard time. I just want to make sure I don't make any mistakes that'll haunt me for the rest of my life. I whisper to him. Sasha, has someone hurt you before besides your parents? You seem to be rather cautious in love and you have these walls that you construct around yourself. Whenever I make progress with you, I always end up at the beginning again, he sighs. You noticed? Ask. Yes, Sasha. So did someone hurt you? He asks. I just once fell in love and yes, I got hurt badly because of it. I don't want to talk about the details. I am only trying to stop it happening again by being careful. I don't want to make the same mistake twice. I say, tears swelling in my eyes. His arms surround my body and he pulls me onto his lap and I lean into him and he plays with my hair, which I don't know why, but it has a calming effect on me. I understand if you don't want to go into detail, but I appreciate you telling me as much as you did. He whispers in my ear. How about we ask each other questions to get to know each other better? He suggests. Okay, I say. Favorite color? Blue, I reply. I prefer black, he says. That's not a color. So what's your default then, I say. What? Black is definitely a color, he gasps defensively. No, black is the absence of light as white is the absence of darkness. I say. I can like whatever I want, he protests. Yes, but black is not a color, I say. But you can't tell me what I think, he says. I can if your thoughts are completely wrong. I laugh. Your laugh is cute, he says, and my face immediately goes red. So is your blush, he adds on. I roll my eyes and push him off me and get to my feet. I scream and fall down as the pain I had managed to forget about races through my leg and I cry from it. Sasha, it's okay. Dylan whispers, taking me in his arms and cradling me and holding me against his chest. It hurts, I whimper. We should get going back to the pack house, it'll get late, and I don't want to take you back in the dark, especially since you don't have an increased tolerance for pain and quick healing like my kind. Rogues can use the nighttime to their advantage to take you out, and losing you is the last thing I would ever want, he says, standing up. But the blanket and food. Some of my pack members will come and clean it up, he says as he carries me. I snuggle up to him as we walk, and after about half an hour we arrive at the pack house and he takes me up the stairs and down the passage to the bedroom where he lies me down on the bed. I'll get the doctor to come check out your leg now, okay, he says, and I nod. Chapter 25. Sasha. I lie in bed waiting for Dylan to return, so I can show him the drawing of his beautiful black wolf that I have done during the I don't know how many hours he has been out. In fact, it's not just one sketch but more like 20 sketches that I have done to keep myself busy, seeing as he has me on room arrest. His equivalent of house arrest for me, and has assured me that if I dare leave the room he'll attack me with kisses and put that tracking serum in me, since he needs to trust that I can stay in one place and not try leave because a rogue could kidnap me if I leave and stuff. At least he made sure to leave snacks and stuff for me on the bedside table, so I don't need to leave the bed except when I need the bathroom, not that I really want to leave the bed when my leg is still in so much pain. I suddenly hear a siren go off and words that should not be repeated are said outside my door. Hurry up, he'll come soon, we need to get what we came for. A voice says. The door won't break. The first voice growls and I feel rather unsafe as I hear the door being hit and stuff, and I quickly get out the bed and run to the elegant double doors only to see wolves fighting. Suddenly the door is bashed down and I turn to see two muscular men in the doorway. "My aren't you a cutie?" One of them smirks and I step back trembling. "Oh, look at that, the little Luna seems to be injured as well. Isn't this our lucky day?" An injured little human Luna unguarded by her mate. Humans are weak enough, but smaller-sized females, especially injured ones. She's helpless without her alpha bodyguard who is preoccupied by the others. The other says, "I don't know who these men are, but they have to be werewolves and not nice ones. They remind me of the ones that captured me and nearly killed me. I know this is stupid and reckless and most of all dangerous, but this way I might have a chance, unlike with these men who can't be good." I turn and quickly open the doors and shut them behind me and lock them to buy me some time. I look down and see it is really far down, and I see the two wolves angrily bashing at it. I climb on the railing and try walk to the ladder to get to a higher level, only for my injury to play up, and I scream as I fall down. Warm, muscular arms surround me as I prepare for my death. "Sasha, why aren't you in bed?" A familiar male voice asks, and I look up to see Dylan. Two men. Werewolves. The siren went off and they broke into the room. They'll get out any second now. I am scared. What's going on? Ask. Rogue wolf attack. Another rogue group under an alpha, and by the looks of it everything was a diversion to kidnap you, he says, putting everything together. Clear out the rogues. There may be some in the pack house. 50 of you divide into groups of 3 to 4 or whatever and find them. I'm taking my mate to my office where I'll be protecting her since she seems to be the target of this attack. Dylan says, ordering everyone around. He keeps me in his arms and carries me inside and up a secret staircase, it seems, into his office. He lies me on a cushioned couch between high bookshelves. "Rest now, Sasha baby, I'll protect you. No one will harm you as long as I am with you," he whispers in my ear, and his calm voice surprisingly helps to soothe my panic slightly. Not entirely, because there is no way anyone wouldn't be panicking if a group of superpowered man-wolves, otherwise known as werewolves, were after them. My hands clutch his shirt, pulling him to me as he moves away. "And no, don't leave. I'm scared, and you being near me is strangely helping me to not have a full-out panic attack from all of this." I blurt out. "I won't leave you, and it's not strange. We're mates. My presence will make you feel safer, especially since I'm an alpha. After yesterday's incident, I'm sure you're terrified. I was just going to make you a cup of hot chocolate to help you feel more at ease," he says, motioning to a counter where there are 2 pretty mugs, a boiled kettle, hot chocolate powder, and most of all mini marshmallows. "See, can I have the marshmallows in mine?" Ask. "Of course, Sasha." He chuckles, and I can't help but enjoy his laugh. I feel so strange. Ever since he marked me, I feel so drawn to him, and it's increasing every day. I just have this feeling he'll protect me. He won't hurt me or try to use me, even if I have to mate with him. I know by how he treats me and acts that he doesn't want me just for my body, and I like that. The only problem is I am thinking of my growing crush or attraction towards him when I have literally just jumped from the 2nd floor of a mansion and I could have died and I have wolves after me. I need to think these thoughts when my life might not be in danger. "Sasha baby, I'll never let them hurt you, so stop worrying and relax," he whispers. 𝐊𝐢𝐳. I can feel strong emotions you give off because of the mate bond, just like I feel a small painful tug at my heart whenever you get hurt now that I've marked you. Our bond is nearly completed. All that's left to complete it is mating. However, I understand that you don't agree, which is why I'm resisting the urge till you consent to it, be it before or during heat," he says. "I thought we could ignore that for now. I don't want that pressure of having to mate," I whisper. "I know you don't, and I don't like that you have to go through this, but you do, unfortunately, and you will go into heat eventually if you aren't mated. I'm sorry that you have to go through this because of me. I wish you didn't have to, but as all wolf females do, you'll go into heat if we don't mate, but I won't force you into anything unless you force me to swim to Antarctica," he says, and his last comment makes me giggle, lightening up the rather sad mood. There is sudden banging at the door, and he gets in front of me, growling lowly and protectively like a wolf over his mate, but then isn't that what this is? The door is forced open, and I scream as I see the 2 men from the bedroom. Dylan immediately shifts and pounces on them, knocking them down, and in seconds they are out cold. He turns human and cuffs them. "Dylan, won't they break those?" I ask, scared. "Nope, silver and wolfsbane reinforced cuffs. Perfect for keeping wolves weakened and restrained. It makes wolves weaker than a human, well, unless they are strong like me, but even I can't handle them forever. They burn us terribly and hurt. Silver wounds also take longer to heal," he says, sitting beside me and pulling me onto his lap and passing me the hot chocolate he prepared after restraining them. I like this, I whisper. I like it when you're gentle with me and you're kind like this, like when you took me on that date yesterday and you saved me. I don't like the side of you that tried to control me and force me to stay here. Call me cliché, but I enjoy it when you treat me like this. Like your princess, I whisper, blushing slightly. I suddenly realize I just let out everything to him. He made me just feel so safe without even trying. My princess, he says, and I blush. I like it when you react positively to me. It makes me and my wolf so happy to see our mate appreciating our efforts to be more considerate, especially after how forceful I was at the start. For you to tell me that makes me over the moon, he whispers, hugging me. Don't hug me. The hot chocolate could spill, I mutter. He laughs and kisses me softly on my head. Is this a better comprise? He asks, and I blush furiously. Your adorable princess, he whispers. There is a knock of the door and he shifts me onto the seat and walks to the door. He opens it and I see a man standing there with him. The rogues have retreated, he informs Dylan. Good. Take these two to the cells, torture them for every piece of information they have. Don't be too gentle, they tried to hurt my Luna, something I will not allow. Dylan says, and he walks to me. The danger is all over, however, I don't feel safe letting you leave me. Do you want to stay in my office? As much of a distraction you are to me in the office, it'll help me a lot knowing you are safe and not unguarded and vulnerable, he says. Okay, this couch is comfy anyway. I say, snuggling up into the amazingly soft couch, and he chuckles. Chapter 26. Dylan. I gently run my fingers over Sasha's beautiful golden brown curls as she lies asleep on the couch in my office. She's so beautiful, sweet, and all-round perfect. How did I get blessed with a girl like her in the first place? I didn't deserve those second chances she gave me when I tried to dominate her life, at first with my alpha nature coming through. I tried to force a tracking serum into her, for crying out loud, and yet she gave me a second chance eventually. I wouldn't exchange her for anything else in the world. My perfect little princess, my Luna, my queen, my world, universe, and everything I want to live for crammed into one perfect girl. I don't care that she isn't a wolf. Sure, I would have liked to have a she-wolf who could shift and go on runs with me, but a she-wolf would do everything I wanted. She'd love my money and power and status because it's instinctual for a she-wolf to want to have a strong mate, but Sasha isn't a wolf. She has had a hard life, and because of that doesn't need material things like wealth and status. She is strong and feisty at times, and most she-wolves wouldn't go against an alpha. I wouldn't get the chase that I've had with her, and what would the point be if I didn't have to do some work and chasing to get my mate? She's absolutely perfect and deserves to be chased and at the same time to be loved and treated gently as she wants. She's so amazing and a doubt she even knows it. She doesn't know how badly I want to claim her and make her know how much I adore her. And now I'm being like a pup obsessed with a beautiful girl. I don't see anything wrong with it, I just didn't think I'd act like this with my mate. I stare into a pair of opening green-blue eyes and I smile and kneel down at the girl's side. Hey princess, did you sleep well? I ask her sweetly in a voice I didn't know I actually possessed. A sweet, caring tone. 𝐿𝐤𝐳𝐷𝐞𝐽. She mumbles, making me want to laugh at her cuteness. I'm done with work for today. Do you want to watch a movie? I can get us popcorn and you can choose the movie. I offer, and I realize just how cliché having a mate has made me. I don't think I'll ever call anyone else sucking up to their mate cliché again. Okay, I probably will. I just won't let them see me being like a cliché lovesick pup around my mate. She smiles and nods her head, and I pick her up in my arms and she leans into my chest. So what movie do you want to watch? Ask. I don't know, she says. How about Titanic? Girls like that movie, right? I've seen James and Ian with their mates watching it, I say. Titanic. I'm sorry, but it is so long and I've already watched it. It was good, but seriously, I didn't enjoy how she abandoned him and still said she loved him, she says. Well then, any other suggestions? We could watch, I say, trying to think of any cheesy cliché movies that she might be into. However, as an alpha, I haven't ever paid much attention to those romance movies, so it's incredibly hard to come up with suggestions for her when I don't know her taste in movies, but all girls love cheesy cliché romance movies where the guy gets the girl. There is intense drama or forbidden love and kisses, and in the end, they either have a heart-breaking separation or they live happily ever after, right? Do you have How to Train Your Dragon? I love that movie, she says. Sure. I say, rather surprised that she chose a movie I have actually watched and am not rather put off by. I had planned to watch her to distract myself from whatever romance movie she might have chosen, but I can actually watch this. I mean, there are Vikings and dragons. I enter the room and set her down on the couch and make sure she is comfy with some pillows, and I make some popcorn and close the door and lock it to ensure we aren't bothered by anyone else, and I put on the movie, and while that beginning thing before the movie is playing, you know, where they show the company who produced it and so on, I put off the light and walk to her, because what is better than movies in the dark besides my mate, obviously, and the actual movie if it's a good movie, that is. I pass her popcorn and she leans against me and the actual movie starts, and I notice in the dark, because of my improved night vision, a beautiful smile on her lips, one I definitely wouldn't mind waking up to. Chapter 27. Sasha. I giggle as the movie finishes and I hear Dylan snoring. I quietly crawl over to him and lean over him and I scream. He suddenly jolts up in the bed and unfortunately it's dark so I can't see. Sasha, baby. Baby, are you okay? Did you see 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐩? Did someone hurt you? Was there a spider? I'm fine. I just couldn't help but give you a little fright. I mean, you snored through half of the movie, I say, crossing my arms, still unable to see. He gets up and soon the light comes on and I cover my eyes to shield them from the blinding light. I uncover my eyes and I see him looking down on me from over the couch, and he leans down and gives me a light kiss on my lips and then the mark, making me giggle. You're so beautiful, Sasha. So beautiful and so perfect. He whispers in my ear, making me blush, and I grab a pillow to hide my flustered face. Who said you could hide your blush from me? He smirks, taking the pillow and throwing it so I can't cover myself with it. He glances at the clock on the wall. It's about dinner time. You must be exhausted after the attack today. I'll take you to the room and have someone bring up our supper, he says. Okay, I say. He picks me up without warning and I squeal while he takes me back to the room, and I see the door has already been fixed. He sits me on the bed and I blush again as I see him gazing at me. What is it with me blushing today? I know he won't hurt me if I fall in love, but if I become weak for him like with him, he won't take me seriously likely. He'll be able to push me around if I fall too quickly. He said I'll go back into heat in a month and we need to mate before or during that time for it to stop, and I really hope he was joking about that for my sake. Maybe he said that to try take advantage of men after the last heat. I'd rather not experience it again, but is making it stop really worth simply giving up my first? For the last one to stop, he had to bite me and put a permanent claim on me. Shouldn't that have been enough? Sasha, baby, the food is here, he says, sitting on the bed with 2 plates of food. I am pulled onto his lap and he begins to hand feed me, taking the utensils and cutting up my meat for me and then taking the fork and feeding it to me. When he finishes, he kisses me on my head. Rest now. Okay, darling, he says, lying me down before eating his food. Dylan. I get up from the bed once I finish eating and Sasha is lying fast asleep in the bed, and I pull the covers over her. I place a baby monitor in the room just in case any harm is to come to her so I can know immediately. Since she isn't a wolf, she can't mind link, and as much as I love her and our relationship has progressed since she was marked, I cannot give her a phone. She could phone the police, her parents, a friend, or anyone to come get her, and I'd lose her. I can't let her go. I need my Luna, and because she isn't a wolf, she doesn't entirely need me. Not yet, at least. She won't depend on me as much until we're mated, which needs to happen within a month, or she will end up in heat. As much as I like taking care of my human mate even in heat and I love the attention I get, I won't swim to Antarctica. I can tell she probably isn't going to enjoy the smell of wet dog for however long, and my fur will look terrible freezing. I won't probably even get to Antarctica as I'll probably exhaust. We wolves may be fast and have long endurance, but we are modal beings who need to eat and rest at some point in time. What's worse is her heat won't subside until we're mated. I've heard of she-wolves who held out and died. Literally died. She's a human. She won't survive it. It'll be more intense than the last one, and I'm scared she will be stubborn. Too stubborn. She's only 17 and being forced into this. If I hadn't kidnapped her, or she at least hadn't resisted the pull so much, we wouldn't be in this situation where she doesn't know that she could potentially lose her life. Chapter 28. Sasha, stop. Please. I cry out in pain and laughter as his fingers move quickly over my skin, tickling me. Not until you admit that I am the most attractive man you've ever seen, Dylan says. No, I won't, I say, laughing and rolling on the bed. Then I won't stop anytime soon, he says. What did I do to deserve this? I whine before laughing. You made me sleep on the floor last night and pelted me with pillows, he says. And you listened to me. Besides, I was probably sleep-talking, and even if I was awake, remember I told you to swim to Antarctica, and I'm pretty sure I don't control you. I laugh. You threatened me with kisses. You threatened to never kiss me again, he says. Can't we just forget about it? I whine, laughing. Sure, but then you have to kiss me, Sasha, he smirks. Fine. I say softly, and his fingers leave my skin. My fingers slowly touch his cheeks, and I bring his head down and press my lips against his, and in seconds he has taken control of the kiss, moving his lips against mine, and I follow his lead. My hands slowly leave his face and fall to my sides as my lips melt against his. His lips soon leave mine, and he begins to give attention to my mark, kissing it lightly, and I can't help but feel some sort of good feeling inside of me. It's strange and foreign to me. Is it maybe that Dylan treats me better than he ever did? Tears slowly swell in my eyes as I think of him and what happened. Thoughts I don't want to think about. Sasha, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. Did I hurt you? Dylan's voice suddenly interrupts my thoughts. No, it was fine. It just made me think of something, I say, getting up. Sasha, baby, was it not good enough? Am I not good enough? He asks. No, Dylan. You are amazing, and the kiss was as well. I just need to be alone for a bit, I say. I'm going to my office then. If you need anything, you'll likely find me in my office. He sighs before leaving, and the tears begin to stream from my eyes as the door closes. I grab a cushion and sob into it, not wanting Dylan to be able to hear the full extent of my sobbing, as I know he can with his werewolf hearing. Alex, I'm sorry. It was my fault, I sob. Images fill my vision. The accident and the blood that was all around. The broken glass and the heavily bleeding cuts littering skin. Screams and shouts which echo in my head. I scream as those memories play over and over again in my head. Please, please just make it stop. It hurts so much. I don't want this. I did it. Please stop torturing me. Chapter 29. I sit in my office doing paperwork, which seems to be an endless chore that accompanies my title of Alpha. Some alphas don't do paperwork, but those packs are ones that soon fall apart. They have cruelty in them sometimes. They can become broke, and they may end up with no alliances for when they need it, so despite how much I hate doing paperwork, I need to do it. My office door suddenly opens, and I see Zach standing in the doorway. Yes. I ask, my gamma raising an eyebrow. I heard screams and sobs from your room, and I went inside, he says. And what did Sasha do to you? I ask, chuckling. It's more like what she was doing to herself, he says. What do you mean? I ask, alarmed. She's in the middle of a panic attack. I tried to get near her, but she only screamed louder and made her panicking worse. I couldn't bear her screams, they hurt my ears. She needs help before she gets hurt anymore. You're her mate, you would be able to calm her the best, he says. She's having a panic attack. You should have said that as soon as you walked in, I say, getting up quickly. I rush to the room and my eyes fall on the figure of my mate screaming and crying and shaking terribly, covered in bruises as she lies on the ground thrashing around. No, Sasha. I gasp and run to her. I wrap my arms around her and she continues crying, AMD shaking. Baby, it's okay. Calm down. I whisper, gently rocking her back and forth to calm her from her state. However, she keeps crying, her soft hands clutching at my shirt as she trembles and sobs before screaming as well. Sasha, it'll be okay. No one is going to hurt you. You're safe, I whisper to her. Her head suddenly touched my chest and her screaming and crying stopped and her speeding heart slowed to a slow and paced rhythm. I pick her up in my arms and carry her back to bed and gently stroke her head. I hear a cough and turn to see Zach standing awkwardly behind me. You didn't need to stay, I sigh. I just want to make sure the Luna is okay. He grins before leaving. I smile at the now peacefully sleeping girl and I lie down next to her and gently pull her against me where she curls up contently in her sleep. Chapter 30. I jolt up in the bed, only to be pulled back down to the bed a strong, heavy arm. I look to the side and see Dylan sleeping and I let out a soft sigh, knowing I'm going to be stuck like this for a while. As comfy and nice and warm as being in his arms is, it can be rather frustrating and impractical when I want to go to the bathroom or get out the bed. There is nothing wrong with cuddling, but there is a lot wrong with being kept prisoner in his arms till whenever he wakes up. However, at least he doesn't drool in his sleep. Suddenly I hear banging on the door, and in an instant I have a possessive werewolf out the bed growling at whatever is frightening me. He walks to the door and opens it. Dylan, there is an attack. Northwind pack, James says. My hand is immediately grabbed. Get the pack ready. I'm gonna go lock Sasha in my office, Dylan says, definitely in protective and possessive alpha mode. Hey, I don't need to be locked up. I protest. Remember the rogue attack. He growls softly. And never mind. So is this attack season or something? Ask. No, it isn't. Word has definitely gotten out that I have a Luna and my enemies are targeting you because of that. I'm gonna need a panic room installed soon, especially if we ever have an error, which they are probably trying to prevent, he says. Wait, so I'm practically everyone's prey now, I exclaim. Pretty much. Why do you think I didn't want you to leave the pack house whenever you tried to run away and I tried to put a tracking serum in you, which if you want No, I hate needles and I'm not letting you put a tracking serum in my body. You're a werewolf, you have a good sense of smell, I say. Some things can make it hard to smell you when they block your scent, he says. We can finish this discussion later, and no, before you say anything, I don't plan on changing my mind. I say. Isn't gonna make me stop trying. Now stay safe. If anyone tries to enter, scream my name or help as loud as you can. Werewolves have better hearing than humans, so screaming will be able to alert me, and at the same time be able to hurt a werewolf by screaming in his ear. Screaming will probably be the only defense you have unless you count hurting them while they are recovering, not that it will do massive damage, he says. I feel his lips against mine and I blush before giving in. His lips soon leave mine. Thanks, I'll be sure to continue that kiss when the fight is over. Now stay safe, understand, Sasha, he says. I'll try. Good luck, I say. Bye, my love. He whispers as the door closes and locks. I make my way to the couch and I sit down and sketch to try and distract myself from the fighting going on. I find myself unable to do anything but worry about Dylan. I mean, mates, as he calls us, practically our soulmates, and I never believed in soulmates, but if werewolves are real and I can get burning hot from not being bitten by him, then soulmates can definitely exist. I get up from the couch and walk to the window and I look down and I see Dylan's wolf taking on another wolf of a similar sized wolf. I want to look away as I see the wounds on Dylan and the wolf, but I can't. I can't help but worry about him. I hear the door banging and I turn around and I scream. I look back and I see Dylan turning towards the pack house on to be attacked. He turns back and continues fighting, definitely unable to come help me. I shakingly walk towards the door and hope they can hear me loud and clear through the door, since they can't be too far from the door if they are banging it. I let out a loud scream and I hear whines which eventually turn into growls, and the banging resumes only more violently than before, and I notice the stairway Dylan brought me up last time and I contemplate running down it. The door is broken down and I wonder why I can't ever just be nice and safe during an attack. I see a snarling wolf which runs at me. I quickly go down the stairs and close the trapdoor and run, hoping I'll be fast enough. I hear the wooden trapdoor breaking and I speed up as I hear the snarls of the wolf running behind me. I open the door of the closet and before I can close it on the wolf, I am pounced on and pinned to the ground, and the wolf shifts into a man with blonde hair. He tapes my mouth shut and smirks. There we go, nice and quiet. He smirks and I struggle underneath him. He moves my head and checks my neck. Yep, just the girl we're looking for, he says, getting up and pulling me up to my feet, and I feel cuffs bind my hands behind my back. He looks at me. You should be screaming in pain, he growls at me. He sniffs me. Human. How nice, a little weakling, he says. I feel my body kick to the ground and he beats me up till he is satisfied, and I am picked up and placed on my feet, and he forces me to walk in front of him outside. Alpha. I got the girl, he announces, pushing me to the floor. Sasha. Dylan shouts, shifting and running to me. The Alpha lunges at Dylan, and if my mouth weren't taped shut I would be screaming, horrified. Dylan shifts back into his wolf and attacks the Alpha and soon beats him. The enemy wolves begin to retreat and Dylan picks me up and one of the pack members take the Alpha to the dungeons. Dylan takes the tape off my mouth and rips off my handcuffs, and I lean into him. That wolf hurt you, he growls, looking at my injuries. And you're worse than I am, worry about yourself, I say. I'll heal very soon. You need to get those bruises checked, he says, kissing my forehead. I close my eyes, passing out in exhaustion. Chapter 31. Dylan, there has to be a mole somewhere. I mean, she got hurt when we were at our least prepared. As our Luna, we can't continue to risk her safety, Zach says. They didn't know she was human, not at the beginning at least. All they knew was that I had a mate. Whoever is the mole doesn't know she is human. It could be one of the lower warriors, an Omega, or one of the she-wolves, a jealous one most likely. I've kept her away from them as a precaution, so they probably don't know that she is human, I say. We can skip the investigation for now and ship her off somewhere where they wouldn't think to find her. like Hawaii, and I'll accompany her as her loyal and trusted bodyguard and surfing teacher. James suggests, you think you can separate me and my mate just so you can fulfill your dream of going to Hawaii? You're my beta. Don't know why exactly, but you have the position. If anything, I'd send Zach because he'd actually go with the intention of protecting her, and not tanning, only I'd be left without my gamma, so the warriors would be less coordinated, and I can't put that tracking serum in Sasha because she's injured and unconscious and would make me sleep on the floor or at worst in a doghouse for the rest of my life if she ever found out, which means no sleeping with her in my arms. I sigh, dejectedly. Well, does she need to know about that if you put it in her? I mean, can't you just keep it from her? James asks, you don't understand what it's like having a mate. At first you can resist them a bit, and then a few days in you can't lie to them. I mean, if I look in her pretty eyes and I'll tell her whatever she wants and she doesn't even know it. Seriously, I'm so happy she isn't a wolf, or else she would have been brought up like us and be able to understand the kind of power she has over me. I sigh. Well, you could just let Zach train her. The girl was good when running from us. She wasn't a good fighter, but she was agile and smart enough to not get caught for a while. James suggests. Not happening. She could get hurt practicing, and in a fight it would be futile regardless. I don't want her wasting her time on something that won't help her when she really needs it against werewolves. I say, shaking my head. So what is your plan? Lock her up in your room so no one ever sees her? Look, she's going to want a little more freedom at some point. She's been injured so much that I doubt she even knows you're practically keeping her trapped in that room. James says, I'm not trapping her. I'm keeping her safe, and she is doing fine with it. I'm not about to let someone just knock her out and take her while she walks around. I growl. You're seriously possessive, but it's been a week of her being like this, and that's a week closer to her heat, so I guess it's understandable. Zach sighs. Her heat is going to come somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks from now. How could I not be stressing? My mate is unconscious, and I have had no time to progress my relationship with her, and she's not ready. What if she wakes up just before her heat starts? You're unmated. You won't go after her, right? I ask, panicking. Look, she'll wake up. I know, I just want her. I want to have her, and I can't. I can't hear her voice or feel her touch. Nothing. You have no idea how crazy it's driving me. I growl. Relax, Alpha. The Luna is awake, the doctor says, and I feel much more at ease. Can I see her? I ask, about to enter the room. If you be gentle with her, she says, and I nod and I smile as I see my mate on the bed, half sitting, half lying. Hey, Sasha, I say softly and gently. Hi, Dylan. I was worried about you. She whispers weakly with a slight smile. You're the one in the infirmary. I'm fine. Werewolf healing can be rather handy at times, I say. Yeah, she whispers. Is something wrong? Ask. You're always protecting me and saving me, and I'm always getting injured. Why am I so helpless? I couldn't defend myself. I screamed and I tried to fight B, but I'm always so weak. She sobs. Sasha, you're not weak. You're very strong, not physically, she says. No, please don't cry. I say, feeling rather helpless as she cries. Hey. Not every girl can run from a pack of werewolves and actually make it far without getting caught. You're strong. You are the most feisty girl I know. Before I met you, girls went weak at the knees at the sight of me being an alpha, and all the girls wanted to be my Luna, but then I found you and you gave me a challenge. You're stronger than any other girl here because of that independence you have. You escaped from me more than twice. That's something no one has done before. I say, kissing her forehead. But I am not as St. Sasha, don't compare yourself to me. You have your strengths and I have mine. Look, I could never draw as well as you. I sound like a dying donkey when I sing, and I'm nowhere near as cute as you or prone to escaping. I say, and she giggles. Sing for me, she laughs. No way. You may be my mate, but I don't sing for anyone, I say. Well, I probably won't sound any better than you, she says. Let me hear and I'll be the judge of that, I say. Nope. You wouldn't sing, so I won't, she says. The wheels on the bus go round and round, the wheels on the bus go round and ruin stop. She exclaims, laughing. Your turn, I say. Not happening. I'm injured, remember, she says, giving me those glossed over puppy dog eyes which water and make me feel so guilty. Fine. You win, I mutter, and she kisses my lips softly, and I feel my heart race. It's been an entire week without her. Hey, when I get out of here, can we have a drawing contest? I want to see how amazing your drawings are. she says, fake innocence lacing through her sweet, angelic voice. No, I've embarrassed myself enough, I shudder. Fine then. No more kisses and you'll sleep on the floor, she says, crossing her arms. And no, I'd love to, I say, and I know I am completely wrapped around her finger now. Is this why they say don't fall in love, if that is a saying, which it should be, because I think I'm going to lose every battle to her, and here she was crying about thinking she was weak. Well, I was rather mean to her at the beginning by kidnapping her. Yeah, I think I deserve this at least a bit. Chapter 32. I finish my sketch, putting down my pencil, and I stand up and James takes it. His eyes go wide and he stifles a laugh as he looks at the drawing and then at Dylan. Done, my mate eventually declares, and James takes his drawing and pretends to be examining them. Well done, Luna, you have won, he says. But, Dylan stutters. Dylan, I think you knew she would win from the start, James says, shaking his head and holding up the two pictures, one of a stick figure girl and boy riding a weird stick figure of what I assume is a large wolf, and the other picture is a wolf howling at the moon. But mine was full of emotion. I don't often show emotion, Dylan says. I judged execution, not meaning, James laughs. Don't worry, I like it. I tell him, kissing his cheeks softly, making him growl softly, and my cheeks go red, blushing a bit shyly, and I look down, hiding my blush. He smirks, and within seconds my back touches the mattress of my Ed in the infirmary where the Alpha and Beta were or are busy keeping me company. Dylan begins to kiss my lips, and I can't fight back at all, although it's not like I even want to fight back. It's like the more time I spend with him, the more I struggle to resist him. This is coming from a girl who tried everything to get away from him, from running in trees while being chased by wolves to literally jumping out a window. His hands are firm on me, refusing to let me go. And maybe we should stop. James is still here, I say breathlessly as he lifts his lips for a moment. Mine, he growls out, and I really don't know what's happening. I am grabbed and pulled from Dylan's arms by James. James puts me in the corner furthest from my mate, who I am rather confused about right now. I scream as a wave of pain suddenly shoots through me. What, this should definitely not be happening. You still have 2 weeks left, he exclaims. Sasha, Dylan growls, and I feel scared, but I still have control of myself, unlike last time. Dylan, control yourself, James says. That's Alpha to you, now out of the way, Dylan growls, his irises now red. James bows his head in submission and steps aside. I am picked up in Dylan's arms and placed back on the bed, and he rests his head in my neck and sniffs and kisses my mark tenderly. His eyes turn normal and my pain suddenly ceases. His eyes stare at me. Sasha, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen, he says. What happened? Why were you like that? Why was I in pain? I ask, scared. It's fine, Sasha, your body is just preparing for heat. It's totally normal. My wolf was just responding, he says. Dylan, your wolf could have mated her, James says. I can't control that side of me, he replies. My body trembles as the reality sinks in of how bad everything is. I have 2 weeks before he goes all possessive wolf and claims me. How can I not be absolutely terrified? Dylan, can I ask you something? Sure, Sasha, he replies. Can we get married? I understand if you don't want to, it's just that I find it wrong to mate with someone if we are not married. I say. If that's what you want, then okay. I know you shouldn't have to go through this, so anything to make this all more comfortable and pleasant for you I will do, okay, he says. How are we supposed to get a human minister or someone to perform the ceremony when last I checked humans don't marry until they are over the age of 18, at least that's what normally happens, and most of all she's been missing from home for over a month. If she just appeared to get married it would be suspicious, James points out. I know. So you're going to get the qualifications to marry us online and then perform the ceremony, Dylan says.